This is just an appreciation post I wanted to put up because I know in the past I probably had certain criticism inside the ring, but as far as inside the ring though, this guy's still an elite fighter, and I just want to say that people like this have helped push the sport forward. And Caleb Plant, he's just one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I gotta basically give him credit where credit's due. He's been doing a lot of things in the sport of boxing. And to be honest with you, without Benavidez getting the opportunity with Caleb Plant, he wouldn't be in the position that he is right now. Even though Benavidez did fight Andre after the fact, it's still at this point right now, Benavidez got a lot of notoriety fighting the guy who was a common opponent for Canelo Alvarez. Even though you would think that Canelo Alvarez fans would basically say Benavidez couldn't knock out a guy who was he couldn't knock out a guy who Canelo knocked out, so that would be an easy fight for Canelo. But a lot of people are not really saying that. They're using other reasons, and Caleb Plant just never had any excuses. I appreciate what he's done and what he brings to the sport of boxing. I think I actually think he means a lot to the sport of boxing. He doesn't get enough credit, and especially in America. He's helped put a lot of fighters in position, and he's also gave people opportunities when he didn't have to. Caleb Plant didn't have to fight Benavidez, to be honest with you. He could have got the Canelo fight. You could say a lot of fighters probably deserved to fight before Caleb Plant with Canelo, but Caleb Plant had the belt, and he was in position for the fight. But for him to turn around and fight Benavidez when he didn't have to, a lot of guys haven't fought Benavidez. Munguia hasn't fought Benavidez. And Caleb Plant brought more to the table than Munguia did for Benavidez. Caleb Plant had a belt. Munguia has nothing at 168, so he didn't bring anything to the table. Now, the fan base is still growing for him, but with Caleb Plant, I appreciate him for actually bringing those things to the table, and for him being in a position to where he can actually flourish. Because without him basically giving Benavidez a chance, we're not really seeing anybody fight Benavidez at a high level except for Andrade and a couple of other guys. But we're starting to realize now that people aren't really trying to fight these guys, each other. And at one point, I did put pressure on Caleb Plant as far as, hey, is he going to make a fight? But at the same time, he has to build himself up before he gets in a position to where he can build somebody else up or give them an opportunity. And now that he's in that position, he's called a lot of young guys out. He's called out Berlanga. He's wanting to fight Charlo. And those are two fights that I definitely feel like were ducks. Because, and I don't like using that word, but it was because Caleb Plant's ready. I don't think Charlo is ready just because of his mental state and everything else. Person that's going outside the ring. But yeah, man, I just want to say, like, Caleb Plant, he's helped further push American boxing to a better place. And when you see things that go on with guys like Canelo, where he wants people to respect him and kiss his feet to get a fight, that's not what the guys like Caleb Plant. Not to say that Caleb Plant's on the same level as Canelo, but he doesn't have to be on the same level as Canelo to do more than Canelo for the sport. Canelo has done nothing from the sport right now as far as for Americans boxing. He really hasn't. Mexican boxing neither. I don't think getting Munguia when he's just starting to get his feet wet is impressive to me. I really thought that was actually holding back Mexican boxing. Why would you fight Munguia at this time when he's not even a top opponent to most people that's around? Just being honest, man. As far as the people we wanted to see Canelo fight, he's a top fighter in the game, but a top fighter for Canelo, I didn't really think of that. But yeah, man, just Caleb Plant has done a lot of things inside and outside the ring. He's spoken up when things have basically went the wrong way You had a lot of fighters feeling like they need to cater to certain fan bases. He never does that, even though he can. He can be protected if he feels like it. If he wanted to be protected and say whatever he wanted, Caleb Plant could have took the opportunity, but he did not. And yeah, I definitely appreciate him. I think he's one of the national treasures of American boxing for this era. He definitely gonna be remembered as a great fighter. I like what he's doing for the sport, man. I really am. It's not his fault that he can't get the Charlo fight, Munguia, or Berlanga. It's not really his fault. So at this time right now, for him to go out there and push his career to the limit and fight Canelo, then come back around and fight Benavidez, that benefits American boxing. But for these other guys who's walking around acting like they fought Benavidez and Canelo and they've done nothing for the sport, I'm tired of valuing these guys just based off of their names or popularity or just because they got another person in the division that people feel like they can beat. And all that feelings and emotion that's going on with boxing, just get in there and fight. You know what I'm saying? That's all we're worried about. So at this time right now, man, I really appreciate what he's done for the sport. I just wanted to say that first off because we don't have a lot of honest boxers out here. A lot of guys I can't really quote. Now, Caleb Plant, if he says something from now on, I can go out there and say, okay, I can quote this guy. You know, I can appreciate this guy. I know he's going to be honest about the situation. He's not going to be thinking about finances and his business situation and why everything is not as people say it is and should this be this way. And so everything he's doing for the sport is greatly appreciated. It really is. I think this year, well, since the last 3 or 4 years, he's helped push the sport forward. He's not picking and choosing. He's doing what he needs to do. He said he'll fight Benavidez. He jumped in the ring and he did it. Didn't make any excuses. But yeah, that's definitely something that should be valued in the sport of boxing, but it's not really happening right now. A lot of people are just going off popularity and what they think somebody would do. And Caleb Plant's not one of those guys. But that's all I got. Like, subscribe.